Aral Sea Basin covers 6 countries. The countries can share its waters peacefully, or the rivers that compose the basin can be a source of conflict. Worldwide, over the past 50 years, many countries with similar issues have chosen water peace. 200 treaties have been signed regulating such rivers as the Indus, Danube, and Jordan. But in Central Asia, the countries that share one of the world's great river systems, the Aral Sea Basin, have been talking for 20 years without agreement about how to manage their common rivers. This is the story of a promising and innovative attempt to bring their views together. In the time of the Soviet Union, irrigation systems expanded massively across Central Asia, mainly to grow cotton. Dams built in the upstream countries were designed to accumulate water during autumn and winter and release it in the spring and summer months to irrigate crops in downstream countries. In exchange, downstream countries supplied oil and gas to upstream countries during the peak of their winter demand. When the Soviet Union disintegrated in 1991, the 5 Central Asian republics became independent. Downstream countries started to sell their oil and gas on the international market. They demanded the same high prices from their upstream neighbors, who happened to be the poorest countries in the region. Now, unable to pay for higher-priced fuel, upstream countries started to change the way they operated their dams. They released water through the dams in winter to produce electricity for heating homes and businesses. But in winter, downstream countries had no need for irrigation water, and at times the result was flooding. On a few occasions, there was not enough water left for the irrigation season, causing hardship to downstream countries and raising tensions. Looming over this economic stalemate, the diversion of so much water to irrigate arid and semi-arid areas has caused major environmental damage. The Aral Sea is now 1/10 the size it was in 1960. Energy, agriculture, environment, they are all linked. The UN Food and Agriculture Organization and its partners have launched a project to work with senior officials from all Central Asian countries, plus Afghanistan, to explore a new way of thinking about regional cooperation, called the scenario approach. Originally developed by the private sector for strategic economic planning, the scenario approach has a good public sector track record too. It was used successfully in South Africa in the 1990s to help former antagonists visualize a rational transition to democracy. It was used among Nile Basin countries and will soon be used for the Tigris and Euphrates Basin.
Why scenario approach? Because of course countries want to know more about the future. What is possible is to develop stories. Scenarios are stories about the future, on how future may evolve, and to be prepared for this different eventualities. We invited 3, sometimes 4 representatives from each country representing different ministries. In order to come up with the scenario frame, we need uncertainties and predetermined elements. Predetermined, we are talking about population growth. We know that it's going to happen. We know about the climate change. And when we are talking about uncertainties, we are talking about migration, we are talking about price of oil, price of gas.
Arslan Berdichev, who attended the project workshops in Ankara and Ashgabat, recalls the experience.
Ну, необходимо начать с того, что в странах Центральной Азии исторически применяются количественные методы оценки ситуации, прогноза на будущее. И, естественно, возникают неизбежно противоречия между странами именно в отношении цифр. Предложенный сценарный подход отличается тем, что обсуждаются идеи, о которых мы мало знаем и которых у нас меньше всего противоречий. То есть сценарный подход дает позитивный толчок к тому, чтобы дискуссии велись доброжелательно, во-первых, чтобы находились точки соприкосновения и чтобы люди начинали вместе работать. Я даже скажу больше, не только расширило мое понимание и знание, просто перевернуло сознание.
Governments need to understand where their economic decisions might lead their countries in 20 or 40 years. Creating scenarios allows them to juggle with the different elements in a game of what if. The time is ripe for a new approach.
В нашем регионе страны Верховья начинают осваивать гидроэнергетику, и тем самым гидроэнергетический режим этих рек наносит серьезные проблемы, и мы должны решать эти проблемы совместно. Ни одна страна не должна наносить ущерба сопредельному государству.
In Central Asia, the scenario approach has shown promise. To expand this approach, we would like to see governmental officials trained to use this important tool. FAO has played its role as catalyst, as UN agency, we are trusted to be neutral. As a technical agency, we can provide all needed expertise. Now, all together, for the sake of water peace in the region, we need to push this forward.